Today we are talking about the last phenomenal 3D Sonic game. Now what is the last phenomenal 3D Sonic game? 06 obviously. Sonic Unleashed was the last phenomenal 3D Sonic game. Out of all the 3D Sonic games that have come out within the past decade, I would say none of them still hold a candle to Sonic Unleashed. It's so good that scientists have been wondering for years what secret ingredient this game contains that makes it so good. Well, after my years and years of research, I've finally come to a conclusion as to what makes this game so dang good despite what some wannabe critics may say. So sit back, relax, grab your Sonic body pillow, and let Dr. Josun enlighten you as to why this game blows all the other ones out of the water. Sonic Unleashed's story is everything a Sonic story should be. Good characters, great writing, a perfect mix of humor and seriousness. The story starts with Sonic fighting Eggman as usual, with Sonic gaining the upper hand by transforming into Super Sonic and cornering him. But he celebrates too soon as Eggman then traps Sonic and rips the Chaos Emeralds right out of him, and with the help of his giant metallic space stick, shoots a big laser and breaks the planet apart, which awakens the behemoth known as Dark Gaia. Dark Gaia then breaks the apart because he was awakened too early and his energy spreads all over the world as well as into Sonic, which causes him to turn into this. Sonic then gets flung back to Earth and dies. Sonic then gets flung back to Earth and meets his character named Chip, an amnesiac chihuahua looking thing who loves ice cream, is goofy, and is quite possibly one of my most favorite Sonic characters out there. Sonic agrees to help him find his memory and they set off to fix the planet. After rescuing Tails from some Gaia monsters, he tells them that he knows a guy who can fix the planet. Cute Professor Pickle, a cucumber sandwich loving professor who loves cucumber sandwiches way more than I feel he should. He then tells them in order to fix the planet, they must go and place the Chaos Emeralds in the 7 Gaia temples located around the world. After receiving the news, they then set out to find the 7 Gaia temples. At the 6th Gaia temple, Chip regains his memory and realizes he is actually like Gaia, Dark Gaia's opposite. On their way back to the last temple, Sonic and Chip discovered that through the power of Dark Gaia, Eggman was able to finally build Eggman Land, which probably explains why it's one hell of a level, but I'll get to that later. They restore the Chaos Emerald and think they've won, but Eggman then ambushes them with his Egg Dragoon and sends them to the center of the Earth. One cool boss fight later, and Eggman loses as usual and is tossed away by Dark Gaia to no one's surprise. Dark Gaia then strips Sonic of his Werehog form and becomes semi-perfect Dark Gaia. Chip combats this by transforming into a bootleg version of the Power Rangers robot, aka the Gaia Colossus. After weakening Dark Gaia a bit, he then decides to transform into his perfect form. Sonic then transforms into Super Sonic and with Chip's help, kills Dark Gaia and saves the planet from mass destruction. Chip then says a heartwarming goodbye to Sonic and throws him back to the surface while he remains behind. Sonic lands in Windmill Isle where he finds Chip's necklace and wears it as a souvenir. The game ends on a positive note with Sonic running along Tails in his tornado as the credits roll. This game's plot is not only good by Sonic standards, but it's just a good story overall. The pacing is just right, the character interactions are solid, and like I said before, it has a perfect mix of comedy and seriousness. This was the pre-Baldy McNosehair era of Sonic, and in my opinion, this was the last Sonic game where Sonic really acted like Sonic. He was still smug, but he could still act serious when he needed to. He isn't cracking jokes every 5 seconds like he's in some bad Nickelodeon sitcom. He's acting like Sonic, which I appreciate greatly. I also love Sonic and Chip's friendship and how it develops throughout the game. Heck, the game even gives you ways to bond with Chip by letting you feed him stuff. Sonic Unleashed's gameplay is divided into 2 segments. Daytime segments where you run super duper fast, and nighttime segments where you go not as fast. Unleashed was the first 3D Sonic game to utilize the boost formula from Sonic Rush, which is one of the things that makes Unleashed's daytime stages so fun. All you have to do is press the X button and you'll get this gigantic burst of speed that lets you plow through robots and other obstacles in your way. The levels themselves are amazing too. Rather than them only being 1 to 2 minutes long in length and being comprised of mostly 2D sections like in a lot of Sonic games in 2010s, Unleashed's levels are about 3 to 5 minutes on average and are each moderately challenging. A good amount of them are also pretty open as well. Now let's get to the Werehog, the other half of Unleashed that most people loathe and wish was non-existent. I'm gonna be frank with you guys, I love the Werehog. It's a very competent beat 'em up game and some of the moves you can pull off are freaking sick. Especially once you upgrade all the stats using the EXP you get from enemies, it makes it even better. You can really make Sonic a whole powerhouse if you upgrade his stats just right. The Werehog levels are definitely longer than Sonic's levels, but if you know what you're doing, you can easily breeze through them in under 12 minutes or sometimes even less. The Werehog levels also have amazing music that sound very in tune to the location you're in. The only problem is that you can only hear it in bits and pieces because 90% of the time, you're hearing the battle theme itself is good, but it plays so often that it makes a good piece of music annoying just after the first level. I say you're likely to hear this theme at least 7 times during an average Werehog level minimum, and that's honestly being generous. Possibly more if you're playing through a nighttime stage with a lot of combat like arid sands. This game also introduces Sun and Moon medals, which are medals that you find in the hub worlds and normal levels. The only thing is that they're the key to reaching more levels, so if you think you can just go through the game and not collect any medals at all, you're out of luck. Most people hate this system, but I'm personally indifferent about it. If you do enough scouting in the Werehog levels and the hub worlds, you should have way more than enough to access the levels, so yeah. They are in the daytime stages too, but again, most people are going to be speeding past them and aren't going to be looking for them, so yeah, just do them in the Werehog levels, as simple as that. Whenever someone mentions Eggman Land, most people think about this.
This is Eggman Land, the final level of the game, and it is awful. Shortcut, you can skip a good part of the... Oh, Jesus. I didn't even mean to do... So yeah, seriously, do we have anybody who wants to defend this level?
I, on the other hand, view it as the best final level in Sonic history. Despite it being long and challenging, it really makes sure to test your abilities while at the same time being lenient on you by giving you a lot of extra lives. It's combined into daytime sections and nighttime sections, each with their own obstacles. For the daytime segment, it's dealing with the 3-second QuickTime events, the crazy roller coaster segment with super slippery controls, and dealing with the large abundance of laser gates and Eggman walls that can push you off the stage, instantly killing you. For the nighttime segments, it's dealing with really strong enemies, the complex platforming sections, and trying to deal with the fact that the Werehog doesn't have a drop shadow due to the lighting. Eggman Land is a great final level, with the perfect difficulty considering it is Eggman Land after all. I mean, I don't know why people are so surprised. It's Eggman Land. It's not supposed to be easy. And if you're good enough, you can complete the level without dying and get an S rank. I've done it multiple times, it's definitely possible. We have yet to get another Sonic level that is on Eggman Land's level of difficult. Sonic Colors had Terminal Velocity, which is just Sonic running and quick-stepping. Sonic Generations had Planet Wisp, which was more frustrating purely because of how boring of a level it was rather than it being difficult. Sonic Lost World had a decent semi-final level with Insta-Kill Bomb minecarts, but it was still no Eggman Land. And Sonic Force's final level was not only unbearably easy, but pretty forgettable as well. Sonic Unleashed has possibly some of the best DLC a Sonic game has to offer. While they may only give you new levels to play through, there are so many of them, and they are each still so fun to play. Heck, some of the DLC Werehog levels are actually extensions of the regular night acts in the game. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, there are some levels that have an area that's sealed off that was originally going to be a part of that said level, but due to the developers not wanting the levels to go on for too long, removed them from the final game. You actually can see these areas in the trailers for the game as well. Sonic Generations only got this underwhelming casino pinball stage, and Sonic Lost Worlds DLC is not too bad, but I find myself coming back and playing Unleashed stages more often for the fact because I simply love Unleashed gameplay a lot more. Force's DLC was honestly the closest to Unleashed's in my opinion. Episode Shadow was decent DLC, the only problem is that you could beat it in less than an hour because there are only 3 levels that use the same level layouts with only minor changes. Sonic Unleashed's promotion for this game was phenomenal as well. Anyone remember the teaser trailer for the game where Sonic is just tossing up a ring and then he changes into the Werehog and smashes it into the wall? That, in my opinion, is how you do a teaser trailer. It leaves you asking yourself, what the heck did I just see? And who could forget all of the short clips that show Sonic and Chip doing all sorts of crazy things? My personal favorite is the Kung Fu Panda-esque scene where Sonic and Chip are in Chunan and they fight over a dumpling. Then there's the Night of the Werehog short movie where Sonic and Chip explore a haunted mansion and encounter ghosts that actually appear in 2 of the game's missions. Well, the male ghosts do anyway. The female one isn't anywhere to be seen in the game. So yeah, quite a lot went into the marketing for this game. The only notable teaser trailer I can think of that was close to Unleashed's level was Sonic Generations teaser trailer where it shows Sonic running through a white-green hill zone and then he jumps and Classic Sonic appears, showing the game's new gimmick of having 2 Sonics. Alright, I've saved the best for last. The music. Sonic games post-2010 still have solid soundtracks, but none of them beat Unleashed in my opinion. You have calm, fast-paced violin music from Windmill Isle Day to smooth jazz from Skyscraper Scamper, plus the exotic African instruments that play in Savannah Citadel day and night. And the sexy saxophone that plays in the Shamar hub world at night is just flat out orgasmic. The final boss theme that plays when you're fighting Perfect Dark Gaia is also an amazing orchestral version of Endless Possibility, the main theme for the game. So yeah, those are the reasons why Unleashed, in my opinion, was the last phenomenal 3D Sonic game. Beautiful visuals, good writing, very unique locations, no nostalgia baiting. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you agree with me or do you disagree? Peace and blessings. Bye.